Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Nice to see you all. I was away last Shabbat. As many of you know, I was chaperoning a group of temple teens to Washington, D.C. They did a fabulous job. You will all be proud and feeling like I was. They did a great job lobbying in front of the legislative assistants of our two senators and of their representative as well. It was quite good, and I can provide more details later. But it's good to be back. Good to have made it back through the snowstorm. I'm sure everybody has your own stories. You're surviving the snowstorm. And that all brings us to this place where we are here together and joined together in community and community welcome. I want to just extend a special welcome to our guests, our visitors from ICCJ, the Queens. So you can just wave to everyone as you go. Nina Grabler and her husband Adam and Arlene Ratsabi, did I pronounce that right? Yeah. Yay, and I didn't get your husband's name. Yeah, welcome. Oh, Ellie, thank you. Welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight. And hopefully we can create and continue our feeling of warmth and hospitality and friendship that we create in this congregation. We'll begin on page 140, and just a word of introduction. If you have a thinner copy of Mishkan Tefillah, the pages we'll be reading from the Bima are the ones in brackets at the bottom of the page. Page 140, we find the psalm that tells us it is tov la'adot, good to praise God and to sing hymns to God's name. So may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. In the facing page, you'll see the blessing for kindling the lights of Shabbat. The light is called upon Lisa Lupo for that.
Thank you.
22, as we prepare for Kiddush with these words from the Torah.
The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Lift up the cup and say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei brui haolam. We continue to welcome Shabbat in song and in poetry. Page 138 is where you will find the words of the Chadudi, the poem written in the times of Kabbalah. And it is our custom when we get to the last verse, I'll signal you to rise, turn to the door, and to greet Shabbat. around us. I invite you to find somebody perhaps you haven't yet just talked to this evening, or somebody in your midst. Introduce yourself and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. We turn together to page 146. I invite you to rise as we are called to worship with the words of prayer. So the prayer we turn to next, of course, is on page 148, is Ma'ariv Aravim. One of the perks of being in Washington with this group of teenagers is that we are there as part of this program sponsored by the Religious Action Center, and so therefore we are not the only congregation there. Indeed, there were close to 200 Reformed teenagers from across the country in this room. And we, of course, celebrated Shabbat. And to hear the noise, the enthusiasm, the clapping, see the hand motions that go with all of that is also a joy for me. So the version of Ma'ariv Aravim that we're going to turn to tonight is one that I'd like to invite you, as you're singing, to picture a group of kids or teenagers singing this as they do at camp and as they do in gathering the rest of the time. And just feel that energy and the hope and promise of that youthful spirit in the prayer. Roll into it.
Roll into dark, roll into light, I become safe, take turns tonight. Roll into dark, roll into light, I become safe, take turns tonight.
Adonai Ha'ma'ari. Page 150, Ahavatera. Let's turn together to page 157 and join our voices in this introduction to our prayer for freedom. Standing on the hard shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace. Raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, for your name's sake we are help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. O God, gracious and merciful, guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. 162. We celebrate Shabbat, the words of Mishnah. Invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. We turn together now to page 164 for this collective group of prayers known as Tikvah. And if you're able, I invite you to rise. Adonai, sefatatita, ufia kitemilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaTorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Mekoneh Ha'ol, Bezocher Chasdei V'Imahot, U'mebid Ha'Gula Livnei Bneihem, Le'man Shalom Ve'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Yiboreh Adonai, Mechayein HaKol HaTorah Ve'Moshiach, Mashiach HaRuach, U'Marin HaKashem, Mechakel Chayim Ve'Chesed, Mechayein HaKol Ve'Rachamim, Somech Noflim Ve'Hofech Olim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, V'Shenei Alpha, V'Chamocha B'Gevurot, U'Midomecha, Melech B'Nit, U'Machayeh, Join me on the top of page 173 in this prayer for Shabbat. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh Shabbat. So we take this moment to offer up our prayer of hoda'ah, of gratitude. I am thinking about what it takes to get through a snowstorm. Maybe you are grateful for other people who shoveled for you. Or maybe you're grateful for your own muscles that were able to shovel on your own. Maybe you're grateful for the fact that you did not lose power, as I know some people did. Or maybe you're just grateful for the beauty of what an amazing thing snow does to the landscape, and how it hushes everything and makes it just look so awesome. Or maybe there's something else you're grateful for. I've given you a few suggestions, but I'm also going to open the floor for a few moments. If there's anything big or little that you'd like to share with us that you're feeling grateful for tonight. Meryl.
Our 7-week refrigerator gate, as Pam called it, is finally over. And a new working refrigerator.
Yay!
That we do not have to pay for. Except for the new warranty.
Wonderful. So these are the things that you don't really think about to be grateful for until they break, right? So for good new refrigerators, we are grateful. Thank you. Anyone else?
Ruth, I'm glad my husband and I had a puzzle. There was 1,000 pieces, and one there was 750 pieces to get us to be stuff inside for office.
That's a new measurement of a snowstorm. How long was the snowstorm? 700 puzzle pieces. 750 puzzle pieces. That's great. There are puzzles that keep us entertained and calm. We give thanks. Jeff?
It's later this month, but we'll be celebrating someone's birthday in Florida, and then going on a concert cruise and celebrating Passover on a cruise this year. We'll be back in April. We'll see everyone there.
Yes, so that is indeed something to be grateful for. I'll add that I'm grateful that I actually got a Bruce Springsteen ticket, speaking of concerts. And, Lisa, go ahead.
Oh, well, keeping with the snow theme, I'm grateful for my indoor garage fire. I just had to state that, but I'm also grateful that we were able to celebrate Sylvia's 2nd birthday in Florida.
Oh, yay! 2nd birthday already.
I know, amazing.
It goes fast. Also tough on both those things. Dennis.
Did you get the Bruce Springsteen ticket to UBS?
No. Did you?
My wife and I are going to UBS to see Bruce Springsteen.
Well, you have better luck than I did. I'll tell you at the own end my story. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Jody.
I get to play in the snow with my dog.
Yay. Yeah. That's wonderful. I think I saw that on Facebook, right? Yeah. Friends, for all of these things for which we're grateful, let's join together on the top of page 177 in this prayer. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, v'tov shimcha, v'chan ha'el ha'otot.
Yes.
gathered together, we turn now to the meditations of our hearts as we pray in silence. Let's use this moment to join our hearts, our spirits, to think about those who are ailing, who are in need of our prayers for healing. From our own temple community, we pray for the health, the healing, the well-being of Jamie Lippman-Abish, Eileen Andak, Ellen Bassett, Carolyn Barone, Miriam Shulamit, Bat-Bela, Jane Bernstein, Wendy Bernstein, Arnold Rock, Dennis Brenner, Jack Kazis, Bela Bat-Chaya, Nora Correa, Richard Domash, Pamela Dorman, Susan Zietzik, Janet Ewing, Kelly Fink, Paul Fink, Arthur Fisher, Judy Fisher, Michelle Fisk, Parker Forick, Edwin Foster, Benjamin Menachem Frank, Robert Goldberg, Florence Goldberg, Sandra Goldberg, Florence Goldring, Stephen Goldstein, Allison Gordon, Jean Gormley, Elise Grace, Lee Hawley, Marilyn Heckler, Matthew A. Wood, Daisy Horowitz, Phyllis Horn, Jason Israel, Stephen Israel, Toby Israel, Christine Jacobson, Danette Jamal, Morris Jamal, Liz Kaufman, Joseph Keating, Tatiana Kultunyak, Esther Krachevsky, Sandy Lay, Sibel Lewis, Gail Levy, Robert Mandel, Barbara Massey, Susan Miller, Ashley Moranti, Adam Moranti, Hannah Rachel Bat Miriam, Michal Zahaba Bat Miriam, Shmuel Ben Miriam, Shmuel Yitzhak Ben Nisan, Nora Tzipora Bat Ivana, Carrie Dell, Sophia Palladino, Esther Parker, Galinda Pescatore, Laura Rosenspan, Renee Rosenthal, Sylvia Rubel, Martine Rubin, Janie Rudick, Aline Schoenhout, Charlotte Miriam Schnupp, Richard Skanga, Tova Bat Shifra, Michael Spadali, Mark Strominger, Christine Sun, Calvin Tantoni, Arlene Iris. Thank you. Daniela. Thank you. Jack. Thank you. Arlene.
Karen Wilson.
Thank you. Michael. Thank you. Debbie.
Stephen Freeman.
Thank you. Danny.
Steve Levine.
Thank you. Meryl.
Christine Sun and Christine Hacker Brooks, Bella Lewis, the Anderson family, and all my people who are friends.
Thank you. Jason.
James Howells.
Thank you. And from the choir. Vivian. Thank you. Mark. Thank you. And this is Hannah, Lisa, and Shmuel Ben Avram. Holy One of blessing be with all of those people whose names we've shared out loud, as well as those we hold in our hearts. Bring each and every one of them to their own healing, be it a body, mind, or spirit. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeach Olim. Pray to you, Eternal One, from whom healing flows. Page 371. I don't know about you, but to me, it just feels so wonderful and heartwarming to be together, to hear some wonderful, beautiful music, voices rising in song, and to participate in prayer, whether it's through singing or reading the words in the prayer book aloud or to oneself. Prayer is precious to me. That's not a surprise. I'm a rabbi, right? But I think it's precious to many of you as well. So friends, this week in our reading of the Torah, we turn to Parshat Tikvah. It's in the middle, towards the end now, of the book of Exodus. And the past several weeks of readings have been a lot of conversation about mitzvot, about what we're supposed to do in the world, how we're supposed to act. And Parshat Tikvah, our portion, turns to the business of prayer, of communicating with God through worship. I think it's interesting to note the order of the subjects as they come up in the Torah. We serve God first and perhaps foremost by how we live in the world, by the mitzvot we do, how we treat each other. But we solidify our intention to live in that way through tefillah, through prayer. Now, as you all know, prayer and worship in ancient days looked very different from what we do today. And this week's portion displays that difference, because much of this week's portion talks about the Kohanim, the high priests, they don't exist anymore, right? And what they wore, right? And you have heard the descriptions before, but just to remind you, their clothing is rather ornate, and it's described in detail in this parasha. They wear blue and crimson and purple threads. Their outfits are laced with gold. There are pomegranates and bells at the hems of their garment. They wear an elaborate headpiece and a breastplate and a shoulder piece. All of this is designed to inspire awe in the people who saw them. So one major difference in prayer back then and prayer today is not only in the dress code, right? But also in the fact that we all come into the sanctuary together, and we all worship and lift our voices together. But in those days, it was only the priests who could enter the Holy of Holies. Only the priests who wore the special garments, and they were the ones who mediated the experience of prayer for the whole kahila, the whole congregation. You might be inclined to say, oh, that was a fairly elitist form of worship. But our commentators, and indeed our Torah, suggest otherwise. Just share one verse from this week's parasha that describes, as I said, in ornate detail, the dresses that the priests wore, but they kind of imply that dress had a specific purpose. So, speaking of the breastpiece, it says, Aaron, the high priest, shall carry the names of the sons of Israel on the breastpiece over his heart when he enters the sanctuary, for remembrance before God at all times. To me, this suggests that the high priest is not to hold himself above the community. He has a specific role to play, for sure, but he plays that role on behalf of the community, not as somebody separate from it. That beautiful description of holding the names of all of the people on his heart, over his heart, reminds him of who he serves, everybody. So worship, I would say, even back then, needed to be an experience that was open to and inclusive of everybody. I see in those verses from the Torah the early seeds and roots of what we have sometimes termed big tent Judaism. That is, a Judaism that's warm and welcoming and cares about all of Israel, no matter our different inclinations, our different ways of worshiping, our different races, our different backgrounds. So today we don't have priests, and our worship is open to all. And as you may well know, the garments that were once worn by the priests have been transferred and modified, but transferred to our Torah scrolls. It is they who wear the silver bells, the blue, purple, and crimson threads, and the breastpiece. And they can be read by any of us. That is, if we take the time and care to learn how to read. But prayer and God's words are open to us all. And that, I think, is exactly how it should be. Unfortunately, that very Jewish idea of inclusive prayer for all is being threatened today in no place less than the Jewish state of all places. Just a little bit of background before I tell you this week's news if you haven't heard it. Okay, if you've been to Israel, you've no doubt gone to Jerusalem and to the Old City and gone to the Kotel, right? The wall that is the remnant of the retaining wall of the Second Temple. It's the closest thing we have that connects us to that ancient past and our ancestors' worship. And if you were there, you no doubt saw that it's set up like an Orthodox synagogue, right? With a huge men's section and a tiny women's section. And you may have lingered long enough to note that the men are allowed to pray out loud, but the women have to mumble their prayers. And you may know, because I've spoken about it before, many of you have been familiar with the organization Nashim Kotel, known in English as Women of the Wall, which has been going on now for at least 3 decades that I know of, who are trying to change this reality. They organize a monthly Rosh Chodesh service at the wall on the women's side. And every Rosh Chodesh they gather, they hold an out loud service, and they include a Torah reading. And they do this because they want to worship and have the right to worship out loud in this holy place. And they do it also as a form of protest. I've been able to participate. The year I lived in Israel, I was there every Rosh Chodesh. I actually had my first Aliyah ever in my life with Women of the Wall. And I've gone back there ever since. Every time I visited Israel, if it's been Rosh Chodesh, you can find me there. You can imagine that there is some protest back to them. And you have heard me speak over the years of some of the less positive, more embarrassing aspects of humanity and of our Jewish brethren. I'm not trying to paint everybody with this picture by any means, but I have been spat at the wall. I had a rock bounce off my glasses, and others have reported having chairs thrown at them, and of course, sometimes the women are arrested when the Torah scroll is confiscated. So that's the bad news. But there was good news, and there is good news. There's progress that has been made on loosening the grip of that ultra-right, ultra-orthodox hierarchy and monopoly over the wall. Several years ago, there was an agreement that came about that the government approved to open up an egalitarian worship spot at the Kotel. Not to take anything away from what exists now, but another plaza to have an egalitarian space. And I was there some years back, I think it was about a decade ago, at a CCAR convention, Central Conference American Rabbis Convention, when that space was approved for worship. And we all, some 300 rabbis or so, went to that egalitarian section and conducted a service not unlike what we've been doing here tonight. And it was glorious. Now the bad news again. Fast forward to this week. This week, there was a hearing in a long-running case in Israel's High Court of Justice, which focused on that egalitarian plaza. You should know that the renovation of it has been stalled for a number of years now. After the hearing, the justices ruled that the government has to proceed with the renovations. But in response to that ruling, Knesset member Avi Maoz, who's the leader of the far-right religious Noam party, submitted a bill that would assert full rabbinate control over the whole Western Wall area, including the egalitarian section, and would make the quote-unquote desecration of a holy site, that is, activities that are in violation of the chief rabbi's rulings, which include egalitarian prayer, which include female Torah reading, would make those things a criminal offense, punishable by up to 7 years in prison. Not surprisingly, our movement, and I believe the conservative movement as well, responded by issuing a statement. It's a longer statement. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want to highlight some points for you. First, I want to let you know that this statement was endorsed by all of the Reform movement, the Conference of Cantors, the Central Conference of American Rabbis, the Union for Reform Judaism, the Women of Reform Judaism, the Women's Rabbinic Network, and I'm sure I'm leaving someone out, but you can fill in all the blanks, all said uniformly that we, the Reform movement, unequivocally condemn the preliminary vote in the Israeli Knesset to advance legislation that would criminalize egalitarian Jewish worship. And now I'm going to quote from the statement. He said, if enacted, the proposed bill by a member of the Knesset, Avi Maoz, of the far-right Noam Party, would render forms of Jewish prayer not sanctioned by the ultra-Orthodox chief rabbinate punishable by up to 7 years in prison. This presents an unprecedented attempt to criminalize mainstream Jewish worship in the Jewish state. It is a direct affront to Jews in Israel, North America, and across the globe who pray in egalitarian settings. Okay. And it continues to say, as you know, the Kotel does not belong to one stream of Judaism. It's a national symbol. It's the inheritance of all Jews, of all of us. And it cites a statistic, which may be interesting to note, that outside of Israel, especially in North America, 85% of Jews worship in egalitarian communities. So criminalizing those forms of prayer at Judaism's holiest accessible site would alienate millions of Jews from the state of Israel at a time when Jewish unity is so fragile and so essential. Right. The statement goes on to say, and I agree with this, this is a diaspora issue to be sure, but it's not primarily a diaspora issue. This bill would directly harm and potentially imprison Israelis who choose pluralistic expressions of Judaism, or who visit the Kotel and its outer plaza for heritage visits or IDF ceremonies or tourism. I am thinking very much of our sister congregation, Gehila V'Ahavta, and other Reform and conservative congregations in Israel, all of which are growing. That movement is growing, and that's exactly what's threatening. But think of how they would be disempowered and disenfranchised and even criminalized for their worship. The statement continues, the debate over this legislation raises a fundamental question. And this is key. Will Israel be a state of the Jewish people, or a state only for one interpretation of Judaism? Jewish sovereignty must reflect the diversity, dignity, and shared destiny of the Jewish people everywhere. And lest you think that this is only a symbolic question of who gets to worship at a symbolic place, there are those who fear, and the statement cites this, there are those who fear that this is only the beginning of what could be setting a precedent. And if codified, this law could, and I'm quoting this, embolden efforts to restrict recognition of non-Orthodox conversions, limit public funding for pluralistic institutions, and expand rabbinic court jurisdiction in ways that further erode religious freedom. This is not an isolated fight. It's part of a larger ideological project. So I look at this week's Torah portion. I feel the comfort and warmth of this community and of so many others. And I feel that we as Jews have a stake in what happens in Israel. I don't think it's the same as living there, but we can't say that this doesn't affect us. It does. And I dare say it affects the whole character of the state of Israel that we love so dearly. So for those of you who are so inclined, there is a link and an invitation coming from me, which is to invite you to join our Reform and conservative partners worldwide and call on Israeli leaders to halt this legislation. I tried this link earlier today, and we'll put it in the weekly update, and I will make it available if anybody wants to. I'm not going to bother giving it to you now because you don't need to take out a pen. But what it links you to is to a letter. That's a prepared letter that can be sent to the New York representative of the Israeli consulate to just express your dismay about this. And then there's opportunity to add your own message, of course, as well. Let us, as Jews, continue to practice Big Tent Judaism, a Judaism that recognizes and accepts and celebrates a Judaism that's practiced in a variety of ways. Let us celebrate our diversity, and let us make space and room for us all. In this time where Jewish unity is so needed, may this come to pass. Can you hear that song? Let's turn now to page 586 as we turn to our concluding blessings. As we turn to Elenu, I invite you to rise as we open the book. As our service moves towards its close, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, those of every race and every nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. Before we turn to those for whom we're officially saying Kaddish, it is my terribly sad duty to let you know of the passing earlier this morning of Elaine Farber, a longtime temple member, lived a long, blessed life, died at the age of 102, and will be sorely missed. The funeral will be on Sunday morning at Riverside, North Nassau Chapel. There was an announcement that went out. You can find the details in your email. May her memory be a blessing to all of us. We turn now to remembering those whom we have lost, those who've died recently, and those who died at this season and years past. In this period of Shoshim, with love we remember Norman Fetter, remembered by his wife Vivian, and by Susan and Matthew, and Daniel and Ethan, and by his whole family. We also remember those whose anniversaries, the art sites, anniversaries of their passing occur this week. With love, we remember Mike Appel, father of Lorraine Bertin, Max Einstein, the father of Barbara Rosenberg, Ed Eisman, the grandmother of Cynthia Bettelheim, Miriam Fetterman, the sister of Muriel Garacho, Louis Klein, grandfather of Carol Ryder, Bernie Kimmel, the father of Scott Kimmel, Rose J. Gilman, the grand aunt of Avery Eli Oken, May Goldberg, grandmother of Janet Spool, Charles Golden, father of Jody Osterweil and Cheryl Goldenberg. Rhoda Landy, the mother of Lawrence Landy. Marshall Lefkowitz, aunt of Dean Hernan. Frank Latrico Sr., the father-in-law of Dean Hernan. Albert Neff, father-in-law of Joanne Neff. Samuel Platt, uncle of Doris S. Brown. Saul S. Posel, grandfather of Leslie Kistner. Asher Stein, the grandfather of Madeline Wolfe. Jean Wald, mother of Susan Shaw. And Linda Lustig Zaffos, the wife of Jack Zaffos and mother of Laura Dawn Zaffos Lustig. If there's anybody else who wishes to share with us the name of a loved one you're recalling, Teresa.
My twin, Joseph Kelly.
And invite those who are in the first year of mourning to also rise. And then after that, for all of us to rise as we gather together as one community to remember those we've loved and lost, and to ensure that their memories are always a blessing. Let's turn together to page 598 for these sacred words. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach yirutei v'hamlit malchutei, v'chayechom v'yomechom, v'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael, v'hagalah v'zman kariv v'yimru amen, yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach v'olam v'amei amayah, Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitaseh, Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalav, Shemei t'kushat b'reichu, Le'ela mikol yirchata v'shirata, Tishmachata v'nechamota, Damiran v'yamad v'yiru amen, Yehei shlomo Rabbah v'yishmayim, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yiru amen, V'osei shalom v'yimamav, Say shalom, hallelujah, Kol Yisrael, Kol Yoshvei Teva, V'yimru, amen. Officer for this evening, and some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi, Cantor, choir. Okay tonight, really good. Yuri, as always, and David, haven't forgotten you. I know they're not here tonight, but Mazel Tov to the Marsh family on the occasion of the Daya's Bat Mitzvah. The service will be held at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning at North Country Reform Temple in Glen Cove, and will also be available via live stream, and all welcome to attend the service. Torah study will be via Zoom only tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. Choir rehearsal.
9 o'clock.
Okay. Change it. Torah study will be at 9 o'clock tomorrow via Zoom. Choir rehearsal and on the mark will be at their regular times this week. This Sunday, please join us for our Purim Carnival at Common Point from 12:30 to 2. Bring your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, friends, basically anyone you want. There will be fun for everyone, including braga making, treats, and fun costumes. Registration info is the weekly update. Please join us for our karaoke Purim celebration on Monday, March 2nd, here at Temple Tikvah. Volunteers are needed to participate. Saturday, March 7th at 5 p.m., we will have a family Havdalah and craft event run by Crafty Hands. The rabbi will host a parallel parent discussion group. Havdalah and dinner will follow. Don't worry, only 10 more paragraphs. Join us for a musical lunch and learn with Cantor Friedlander on Saturday, March 14th. See the flyer for the update and RSVP information. Support our teams on their midnight run on Saturday, March 21st with your donation to help the homeless. The list of suggested donation items and more information is in the weekly update, and collection bins will be here in Temple, I believe, starting next week. The items to bring are in the weekly update, so you know where to look. Sisterhood's annual Women's Seder will be Sunday, March 22nd at 12:30 at the Towers on the Green at North Shore Towers. Bring your friends, neighbors, children, grandchildren, all are welcome. I've heard that before. Brotherhood-sponsored pre-Passover wine sale has begun. Look for the menu of wines available for purchase in the weekly update. The sale will run through March 20th. As always, please check the weekly update for all events and response information. Shabbat Shalom.
I just want to underline that for Quorum on Monday night, yes, we are looking for volunteers to do karaoke, but we're also looking for people to just come and have a good time. So even if you don't feel like singing, come, wear a costume, and let's just have some merriment. And with that, I think we'll turn to the merry closing song, page 642, Ele Hamda Libi. Enjoy, but prepare for that. Let's join together.